oh, like, we could go to a restaurant or we could go to the secluded lookout spot. That's usually where I feel like, why do you want to be alone so bad in a dark location? I'm clearly alone in this. No?
Yeah, they're staring at you.
That's a red flag.
We're with you.
No, I'm with you. I 100% agree.
Like, would you go on a first date and they were like, hey, let's go somewhere where there's no potential witnesses and just do...
I don't know if they would present it that way, but I do think that I would not go if it was a...
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got to be weird too with you. But if they were like, if they knew about your dad or your sister or something a little personal that you hadn't said yet, if they were like,
yeah, no, that would be
red
weird,
flag
for sure. I also invite that because it sounds like a story is going to come out of it. Like, oh, you're out of your fucking mind. This will be great. Like, I'll be able to tell the boys about this one. This will be great.
Do it for the plot, for
Do
sure.
the plot, dude. I'm side questing out here.
Gigi, Mason, Olivia, thank you all so much for joining us today in the movie podcast. We had so much fun watching Hard Eyes that we left the theater. We made sure to not look like a couple. That way we don't get murdered on the way home.
Right.
Good idea.
Naturally, that's good self-preservation.
Yeah, we learned a lot while watching this. And I think one of the things that we wanted to ask you right away are, what are some red flags that your date might be a serial killer? And anyone could start off.
I think it usually starts off with location. If you were like trying to set up a place and they were like, oh, like, we could go to a restaurant or we could go to the secluded lookout spot. That's usually where I feel like, why do you want to be alone so bad in a dark location? I'm clearly alone in this. No?
Yeah, they're staring at you.
That's a red flag.
We're with you.
I'm with you. I 100% agree.
Like, would you go on a first date and they were like, hey, let's go somewhere where there's no potential witnesses and just do...
I don't know if they would present it that way, but I do think that I would not go if it was a...
No.
Yeah.
I get that.
I think like if they know more about you than you've said, like if you're talking to them and like they mention something that you have not divulged to them yet.
Hey, just want to check, is this your social security number? Is that...
You know, they're like, but I mean, it's got to be weird too with you, but if they were like, if they knew about your dad or your sister or something a little personal that you hadn't said yet, if they were like,
yeah, no, that would be
red
weird,
flag
for sure. I also invite that because it sounds like a story is going to come out of it. Like, oh, you're out of your fucking mind. This will be great. Like, I'll be able to tell the boys about this one. This will be great.
Do it for the plot, for sure.
Do the plot, dude. I'm side questing out here.
You guys also got to work with the absolutely legendary Josh Ruben, who is one of the funniest people out there. And I'm wondering, any great stories? I mean, like I grew up watching him, and we all grew up watching him on College Humor, and he would do Gail Beggy a lot. Any like characters that he kind of busted out on you guys?
Yes.
I mean, I could name like 10. Yeah.
She would send me a new video of Josh, like one of his sketches every day, and be like, this one's gonna kill you.
I don't even think he knows this.
Right.
I don't even think he knows.
He knows now. Hi, Josh.
Yeah, he would come in with like lots of different characters or just voices or fun things. The thing that I think we all bonded on, Josh is obsessed with the song All Star by Smash Mouth. And I mean, he played it almost every single day.
Every day.
Yeah, and it just became like a kind of like a cast inside joke.
It'd be like, instead of being like, we got the take, he'd be like,
Yeah.
It put Shrek on the map, right? So you have to.
Yeah, you got to.
God.
That's amazing.
You know, Olivia, for yourself, Allie is that final girl character that, you know, everybody's rooting for. What was it like for you to kind of leave your mark in this role, on a role like that?
yeah, what's your mark?
What is your mark?
I love this genre, and I've only recently become obsessed with this genre. I didn't grow up watching horror movies, so I've gained a whole new respect for the horror world, and definitely becoming a final girl is a huge thing. Yeah. And I think the first time that I read the script, that kind of came to my brain, and I was like, this is a big deal. So I definitely am very protective over this character, and she's fun. She has her quirks, but I kind of love that about her, and I love that she really leans into it. And then when she meets Jay, her perspective sort of shifts and changes, and I love the way that she handles the being chased after a serial killer. It's comical, but it's also terrifying and
badass.
Yeah, like there's like a lot of layers to it.
It's not like every final girl. She's very different than the traditional just girl next door that is.
That's right.
There's just something special about Allie that you definitely bring out of her.
Thank you.
Like her best friend, Monica.
Monica helps bring it out of her too.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say of all the final girls that we've ever gotten, Allie is immediately badass. Like from the beginning.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
She's strong from the jump.
Yeah, metal straws and all. Nothing says badass like Planetary.
I think it's rewarding though, the end, like the way that badassness or the strong pieces of her, how they showcase at the end. It's very rewarding to witness.
That's right.
Definitely. And Gigi, for yourself, the best friend character, Monica, she is, I think you are like so much of the heart of this film. You are so funny in this.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you are, Monica's the best friend that everybody needs, and no matter what genre. So I would love to know, like, what do you think are those qualities that makes her that best friend that everybody has to have in, the rom-com or in a slasher?
I think she kind of holds up a mirror for Allie, who already is this strong girl, but for some reason, I don't know. She's so funny, but there really is something that she brings out of Allie. She brings, I don't know, because she is so strong already, but there's like a yin and yang. Like you wouldn't just like assume they're best friends. They're clearly two coworkers that probably wouldn't have met at the same party, but like because they're in their work situation, they have bonded over their hatred for their boss in some way, or sticking up for each other. But no, she definitely is a girl's girl, and I think she sees Allie's potential when Allie doesn't see it. Like when she's down, she sees the badass powerhouse that needs to come out towards the guy rather than just work, and she brings that fun out of her.
Monica also has the inherent benefit of being played by Gigi Zumbado, who has such a quick wit and ability and penchant for not just comedy, but like timing, which is important in both comedy and horror. Thank you very much.
She's very important.
And we had a scene where we had shot all day, so Gigi came in last minute, and she had it was all set up for her, and she came in, and we had a script. But when it comes to Gigi, sometimes you just got to wind her up and let her go. And the stuff that came up in her head was delivered perfectly as if it had been written, and was obviously incredibly impressive to watch. So
you gotta wind me up and let me go.
that's right. Let me go.
Put it on my
So
tombstone.
much love here.
There's so much love here.
So much love here.
Absolutely. This is like one of my favorite junkets that we've gone to.
Listen, facilitated by yourselves. So thank you for you.
Mason, you're up now. So we got to ask you, you've been part of some incredible films throughout your career. And I'm just curious for yourself, in the world of slashers, from Scream to Hard Eyes, what do you love so much about hanging out in this genre? And what was it about Jay that you're just like, let me put a different spin on this character?
You like being chased?
Yeah, I mean, it is a favorite pastime of mine. That's why I'm so fast.
Yeah, great runner. You're a great runner.
I hope so. I did have a foot race on the last day, and won, by the way. No offense to the camera department who put up a good fight. Shout out Cups.
You raced Cup?
And I won. So there's kind of a duality to your question. One, simply being that being a part of horror genres, or the horror genre and the franchises that I've been lucky enough to be a part of, is indicative of the fan base that I love so much and find myself situated neatly in, that I do think being a part of the movies that ideally people enjoy is so cathartic and pleasant for me as someone who would watch these films even if I were not a part of. In terms of Jay, I like that his archetype and who he is as a person is not super common in the horror landscape. That's the affectionate, considerate, and also overly romantic or romanticized male character, and how that coincides with the inherent danger and nihilism of being chased by a serial killer, that he would still be affirming and supportive of someone that he cares about in the face of getting stabbed.
God, no one else could play Jay. It's like they wrote it for you.
That's
real.
That's really sweet. I don't know. They were really they were really scraping the bottom of the barrel. We're like, oh, there he is.
Your first job.
Throw him in there. Yeah. I don't know, man. I heard you were gonna play Jay, and then they just were like, she's too expensive. Yeah. We'll just get Mason in there.
Was it going to work?
Someone who could run, and it was between you and Tom Cruise.
And Tom Cruise, and I'll smoke him. Just a foot race for Tom Cruise. I promise you. Tom.
That's so good.
Love Tom.
We're getting so close to Valentine's Day, and this is actually that perfect film for that time. But for all three of you, what is that rom-com that you're never tired of that you recommend to watch every year?
Does it count as a Poetic Justice? Does that count as a rom-com? Tupac?
Take it. Judges are okay.
All the judges in here are saying yes.
That's mine. That's a classic. Not all at once.
No, I know. I just there's too many. Guys, I don't know.
Like rom-com. Well, we just got into the discussion if this is a rom-com or not, and I say hard yes, Aquamarine. I can never be sick of Aquamarine. And it is a rom-com because it's the best. You do love that movie.
They made me sit down on after a day of shooting. I was exhausted, and they were like, "We're gonna watch the best movie ever," and we watched Aquamarine.
And it is.
It's great.
It is a great movie. It's so funny, and it's so
sleepy.
sweetie. It's so, that's like I love that movie.
Yeah, you do.
I'm When Harry Met Sally all the way. That's the
Love it.
Yeah, that's one for me.
Absolutely love it. To the three of you, thank you both so much. This film is so much fun. This interview was the most fun that we've had.
Oh,
and
y'all are the best.
We hope we get to talk to you guys down the road. So thank you so much, and just have an amazing day.
There's some hearts for you guys.
Those guys. Yeah.
Hard.
Take it easy.